quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be sterner with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37th. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Yeah, Liz. Hey, check 26. That's fine, yeah.
Rodgers now on first down. It's caught here by Adams. Still fighting for more. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Zoom. Hey, check 26.
On first down, Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Open man there is Malone. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words.
Let's go, let's go. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Ace, flex, flex. Look again.
Throwing is Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get...
And a loose football. And this belongs to the Vikings. A fumble lost last week, now a fumble lost this week. Is this just growing pains of a rookie?
It is growing pains, but they can't afford them. Not him nor his team. That means extra work during the week with his coaching staff and extra work on his head to make sure he doesn't lose his confidence. They like him. They want him to flourish.
Because you know he wants to avoid that label of being a fumble machine.
It is a label that is hard to shed, and that just means teams come after you even more, ripping and raking at the football when you're carrying it.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Cook following the penalty. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. Flushed out right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Nick Perry in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they're putting it up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Airing one out from Macklin. Deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
We are going.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jordan Matthews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Crosby connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. Akeem Hunt now to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Vikings now heading onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Cousins going for the deep ball. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And it pushes way forward to about the 32. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Play action now. Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking 1st down. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half, 1st and 10. Cousins again. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. They'll throw again. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On 3rd down, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Zoom.
Now it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the feet. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Back now at Lambeau. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Box it. Back to north. Hey, check 26.
Here's Rodgers. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Second down, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Cousins from the gun on third. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And Diggs has it. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his... horse still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
All right, now here we go.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. First down, here's Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That's caught. It's Malone. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Gun.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And he finds Cook. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Again, this is Cook down to the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. They run it again with Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bailey able to knock it through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Rodgers to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Aaron Rodgers so cool in these situations, but he's got to get his guys moving.
Yeah, they have to be able to have that urgency while still keeping their cool.
We are going. Get up.
Now Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game. See if they can do just that. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Cousins now. And this is going to be intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch? We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with 4 seconds remaining. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Now Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets.
Mouse game. We'll see if they